thoroughly before you go to the next stage, which is to prepare them with spray with undercoat. To be safe, leave the models out overnight to make sure that all the glue is set. If you undercoat models before the glue is completely set, the solvent that's in the undercoat can cause the pieces to become detached, and then that'll set you back a whole stage. Some people like to apply a base texture before undercoating their models. Yeah, not me. This is better for personal preference. It depends upon some extent of kind of finish you want to favor for your particular bases. If you texture your bases before undercoating, it is especially important to let the whole thing dry before applying an undercoat. Otherwise, this texture will lift off. Now, the purpose of an undercoat is twofold. One, it acts as a primer or key, and it provides a flat base color to paint onto. You can undercoat with a brush with using just some standard paints, but this will provide a weaker primer than a can of spray paint, which is designed to be actually a key to metal or plastic surfaces. You also find that the spray finish is far flatter and better than to paint onto than a brushed undercoat, which tends to give an uneven and slightly resistant surface to paint on. So overall, the benefits of using a spray undercoat far outweigh the cost. If you are undercoating many models at once, the saving in time alone is worth the time to go ahead and do it. Now, Civil sells spray cans designed for undercoating metal and plastic models. You can find similar products for modelers in just about any hobby store. They're all over the place. They range from about I got $4 to about $10 to $12. Alright, let's not be silly. Always remember the important role when using sprays. Never ever use them in a household because the spray forms a fine mist that coats everything nearby. Now, only spray in the outdoors in a well-ventilated shed or some other building. Open the door and window to get a good draft if possible, and this is not only best for you, but it's best for the work too, because the undercoat will dry almost instantly on the model and form a slightly textured surface that holds paint very well. However, very hot and cold conditions can sometimes affect this paint, so the extra care to read the instructions if you're using a spray cans under these circumstances, and find out what's best for your spray can. The ideal place is usually a workshop, garage, shed, work surface or similar table. Cover the whole surface with newspaper. As you see in my picture here, I'm inside a box. Cardboard box makes a good spraying booth, especially if you have newspaper down in it, because it captures the whole thing, and it allows me to move the models around without having to try to move a whole table. Most important of all, don't use inflammable spray anywhere near a naked flame. One of my boys did that already, and singed a good quantity of his front arm off. Well, his hairs at least. For example, like a pilot light near a boiler, which is what happened to my kid. I know this all sounds very obvious, but it's always a good obvious after the event, doesn't it? I mean, it's very obvious, and now he really knows. Now, if you place models directly under the work surface and spray them, you'll find the paint forms a fine mist that goes everywhere. It's called overspray. This prevents this. To prevent this, you will need to make some kind of booth into which you can place the models and serve as a container. As you see here, my spray booth built out of a cardboard box. There's no need to be an elaborate and more anything better than that. Just simple pieces of card or board or some sort of shield around the area, because it will flow out everywhere else. If you have to spray on the floor, the same precautions apply. Lay down plenty of paper to catch the overspray. If you spray outside, choose a calm day and a spot where the overspray won't cause damage. Bear in mind that it is very difficult to shift paint from concrete, patios, paving, whilst grass does grow back. Enough said on that. Alright, let's talk about undercoating colors. Regardless of what you're doing, it really depends upon what your subject is. Although you can buy other spray colors, the best are usually white and black. White gives a feeling of a general use, and it's excellent base colors for applying all the other colors. Most of the beginners start with a white undercoat, as it gives an ideal blank canvas, and you don't need to master any special technique to get a good result. On the other hand, the black undercoat is often used by people who want good results relatively quickly, and is ideally suited for painting a large number of models in one go. Now, the chief advantage of it is that it will reach to the deepest recesses, and if left black, to provide the darkest levels of shading without any kind of real deal of effort. However, some colors don't paint very well over black, and all colors will tend to look a lot less bright. And sometimes it will actually be necessary to repaint an area white in order to get it to brighten up. Think of black undercoating as your mask painting for painting models that are going to end up very dark or black, such as a Space Marine Chaplain or a Space Orc. Alright, after that all you gotta do is do some minor retouching, some cleanups with your paint and your primers, and then let it all dry, and then you're ready on for the next segment, which is for us to start actually getting our hands into some painting. So I will see you next time, and thanks for watching segment 2.